All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
First at 6, a man accused of taking part in a killing 20 years ago is expected to appear before a judge in about 4 hours. We'll tell you more on the charges he faces and how police say they tracked him down. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock on Fox 61 and streaming on Fox 61 Plus. I'm Tim Lammers.
At America Areas, good morning. We're going to have much more on that story in just a few minutes, but first we're talking about some good news here. A warm up, and a big one is on the way. Meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli has all the details for us. A lot of people looking forward to this.
It's going to be beautiful the next couple of days. Really warm by Saturday. Some of the warmest numbers that we've seen all year, likely going to happen for Easter weekend. Beautiful spring day ahead for us. Mostly sunny skies this morning. Over in Hartford, we're around 42 degrees, and we will continue to see, as that sun comes up, a really nice sky. Winds out of the west around 5 miles per hour there. We are expecting a little bit more wind to build in later on today. Some of us are waking up around 36 degrees in Torrington, out the door in Waterbury at 36. It's 32 now in Meriden as well as in Danbury. So colder in some locations. It's not all that bad across the state, but definitely want to maybe grab a light jacket before you head out the door. You'll be able to ditch it later on. Wind speeds, though, out of the north to northwest, 5 to about 10 miles per hour, picking up a little bit later on, gusting to maybe about 15 to 20. Over the course of the day today, you'll see our numbers move into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees town by town. 59 in Naugatuck as well as in Bristol, make a run at 60 in Hartford. 61 in Middletown, the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees in southeastern Connecticut. And then our numbers move up to the mid to upper 60s on Friday under a mostly cloudy sky. And then for our Saturday, we'll see numbers move around 80 degrees. Whew, that is quite warm. We'll talk a little bit more about that warmth coming up in just a bit. Checking in with the roads here at 6:02. We have a little bit of volume starting to pick up over on 84 westbound. In the Waterbury area, it does look like there are some delays that are starting to increase over in the Newtown area during that or around that bend there. So just give yourself a little extra time as you're looking at about a 10-minute delay. New Haven to New York is still under an hour now. Northbound 95, New Haven to Rhode Island is 67 minutes. Over to you.
Well, a man is expected to face a judge this morning after a major break in a 20-year-old cold case, a case of a killing in Windsor Locks.
Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is live in Hartford. Outside Hartford Superior Court, he has more details on how investigators say they made major progress that led to today's arraignment. Keith.
Erica and Tim, good morning. A lot of eyes on this story from all across the country. As far away as Ohio, 38-year-old Muhammad Ali is scheduled to be arraigned here in Hartford in about 3 hours from now at 9 a.m.
Ali is charged with conspiracy to commit murder and accessory to murder in connection to a deadly 2005 shooting in Windsor Locks. Back in February of that year, police found 35-year-old Maureen Hussein's body at the intersection of Main and School Streets. Hussein was a New York City taxi driver. Fox 61 was there 20 years ago. We spoke with the police chief about the early progress of the case before it went cold.
It was difficult the first couple of days because we didn't know who the party was. So again, we didn't know which avenue to follow, and now at least we can get a history of the party so we can start backtracking from there. His cab was recovered in Brooklyn by New York City police, and it has been brought back to the state of Connecticut, where the Connecticut State Police Major Crimes is processing the vehicle this time.
In February, Windsor Locks police said their detectives reopened the case and made progress through advancement in forensic technology, interviews, canvassing, and re-examination of evidence seized in 2005.
Often we'll hear from investigators with an arrest and arraignment like this that it really is a team effort, and that was the case here. Authorities said that not only were police involved here in Connecticut, as we just learned, but also U.S. Marshals and Dublin, Ohio police involved when Muhammad Ali was arrested a short time ago, a couple of weeks ago in Ohio. So a lot happening here. This arraignment is due to get underway at 9 o'clock this morning, and we will be following that for you. But for now, live in Hartford this morning, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61.
Keith, thanks so much. We'll check back through the morning. Well, in the meantime, 38-year-old Muhammad Ali is as Keith just said, he is expected to be in court later today. Meantime, Jose Morales took the stand in Milford yesterday. He spoke directly about what happened the day that he's accused of killing his girlfriend, Christine Holloway, in 2019. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Milford with more on what happened inside that courtroom.
Jose Morales took the stand on day 8 of his trial and testified that he smoked marijuana with PCP before entering Christine Holloway's home.
Told her about what this dude just did to me.
Jose Morales says on November 29th, he unintentionally smoked marijuana that had PCP in it while driving with his friend Hector. Morales says he believed it was just marijuana. Later that night, Morales says his friend gave him 2 bags of PCP before driving back to Holloway's apartment in Ansonia. He says he and Holloway stayed inside the apartment for the entire day on November 30th. At around midnight on December 1st, Morales says he began craving PCP.
I went outside to smoke. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning. And probably 10 minutes. I was out there for like 10, 15 minutes smoking. And I smoked the whole blunt.
Morales says he later stumbled into the house and went to the bathroom.
I got disoriented. Everything got blurry. I couldn't see clear. I was stumbling. Sort of like, it's like taking a gallon of vodka and drinking it in one shot.
Holloway's body was discovered on December 2nd in 2019. The defense's second witness, Dr. Eric Frazier, spoke about how potential PCP use can affect the brain.
So PCP affects the auditory ability, essentially like I was describing before. It causes hallucinations, meaning hearing things that aren't real, that aren't actually present in that moment. So that is an example of a break with reality. Reality is what's happening in front of you.
However, the prosecution scrutinized Dr. Eric Frazier's expertise on the topic of PCP. They said the effects of PCP, including muscle rigidity, hallucinations, and dissociative amnesia, don't necessarily happen to everyone who uses PCP.
It doesn't mean that that happens to every single person every single time. It depends on the dosage and the quantity used, or if it's being used effectively or misused.
Thank you. And that same thing holds true for PCP, doesn't it? What you just said to the end of the question that I asked you, that applies every bit to PCP, doesn't it?
Objection to the form of the question.
Overruled.
Yes, it does apply.
A member of the chief medical examiner's office also testified that Holloway had at least 8 blunt force injuries to her head. The prosecution still has to cross-examine Morales Thursday. In Milford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. And we are streaming the Jose Morales trial all the way until a verdict is reached. You can watch it live on Fox 61 Plus when it's happening on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Roku. You can also download the free Fox 61 app in your app store and watch it that way. Well, developing news in New Haven. People are still trying to come to terms with a 15-year-old being shot and killed in the middle of the day. They're wondering what can be done to end the violence in the city. Well, as Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot reports, there are plenty of programs in place, especially programs to help young, disconnected people, but there's just only so much reach those programs can have.
Violence prevention coordinators are still wrapping their heads around the shooting Tuesday afternoon. They say young people have to put the guns down and get involved with the many programs the city has to offer.
We're just saying, like, for the first quarter of this year, there were no gunshot wounds, no non-fatal shootings, and no homicides, and then this occurred. So it really, really broke, like, the silence, of what's occurred in New Haven, more especially for our youth.
On Tuesday afternoon, a 15-year-old boy was shot and killed in front of his home on Greenwood Street, New Haven, police say. Case manager Omar Ryan said this incident is shocking. He works with youth in the Hills neighborhood where the homicide happened.
They so deep into the streets now. They so deep into the streets, and some of them got a taste of money, selling drugs. So they got a taste of money. So you're not going to just tell them to leave the area, So that's how they eat. Some of them have to be out there. Some of them feeding their families with the money they're making out there.
This homicide is raising concerns for neighbors who say more programs are needed for the disconnected youth. But Leonard Jihad said there are many.
Youth and Recreation Department in New Haven, Police Activity League, programs like mine and other nonprofits. There is a lot to do that's in New Haven. that's organized.
Jihad works with youth every day at the Violence Intervention Prevention Program, or CTVIP. Jihad and his team work with young people in the city and offer paid internships. Right now, they are working with Swords to Plowshares,
where they take guns that are handed in or turned in through the police buybacks, the gun buybacks. And so they take the guns and they turn them into garden tools. And so we've partnered, and they funded a program that's been going on for the last 2 weeks.
Students involved say it's things like this that help the community.
Like right here is a safe place for everyone. So like basically if you're here, it's showing that you care about the community and care about what's going on in the world.
Something both men couldn't stress enough is that parents have to start going through their children's social media and their phones. They say it's time for parents to start getting involved more. In New Haven, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Okay, thank you for the update there. Meantime, at 6:10, the legal team for Kimberly Sullivan. She's the woman who's accused of holding her stepson captive for more than 2 decades, has responded to the stepson's first public statement. Now, the man, who is going by S, touched on many topics in his statement on Tuesday, and they included what he's gone through, how he's doing now, and how he's looking ahead to the future. Yesterday, Fox 61 got a statement from Sullivan's lawyer, who reacted to S. It reads in part, quote, "The accuser's public narrative put forth by his handlers lacks both specifics and credibility. It appears timed to sway public opinion, and its only purpose can be to poison the well of a future jury panel, rather than seek justice through proper legal channels," end quote. Now, part of the stepson's multi-paragraph statement says, quote, "Much has already been said that tells part of the story of the abuse I endured. Someday, perhaps my whole story will be told. I ask everyone involved in my story to fully cooperate with the authorities who are helping me seek justice for these crimes," end quote. And for the latest information on all of these stories, you can scan the QR code on the left side of your screen right now and easily download the Fox 61 News app.